It's all good. I don't know if that's a command post. He is armed. We saw the gun. Wonderful. He's going to get us all kicked out. I don't see any media. No, on the ground. They're talking about media on the ground. There was... maybe a Nissan. Sentra. There is. He's moving around. What? Okay. No, it's not. That's me. There's all the movement. They want you to go clockwise. Copy, thank you. Did you want me to report on YouTube, or did you just want me to just give me a heads up? Well, everybody, I'm not really sure if we're reporting or we're just kind of showing you guys what's going on. I've got a lot of balls in the air right now. Ta-da, pump. Anyways, what's going on is this is happening out here, Anaheim Hills, westbound 91 freeway, right before Lakeview. It was a pursuit. That's what it was. Corona PD in pursuit of that blue vehicle that's now wedged between two armored vehicles from law enforcement. One of them Corona PD, the other one Anaheim PD. That driver brandishing a weapon. We actually saw the gun earlier on. Looks like a very large handgun. And there's also something else going on where you can kind of see it, but maybe Mike the pilot, Mike the captain, might be able to get a little bit closer. But that rear window on the driver's side is definitely broken, and I'm not sure if that's a bullet hole or exactly what it is, but it's definitely got a hole in that window. Now, is that from law enforcement? Probably not. I would venture to say no. If they were going to break a window to try to get, maybe put in some kind of adjutant, gas, or pepper balls or something like that to get them out, they would break out the bigger windows. So I'm not sure where or when that happened, but there's definitely some sort of what appears to be a bullet hole in the window. Look at all the law enforcement. Well, they're out here in force, and this is definitely a very dangerous situation. They don't want to see this person pull the trigger at officers or at himself. We're going to move the SkyFOX around, but this has shut down the 91 freeway in both directions out here in the Anaheim Hills area. And when I say both directions, I mean both directions. And the backup is huge. Some of these folks, we're going to get to them in just a little bit, but some of these folks that are going to be stuck here pretty much for the duration because there is no way they can turn around and get out of here. The westbound lanes, they're taking everybody off probably right around the 55. Mike is moving a little bit. They're trying to get a little closer. There's two other law enforcement aircraft here, and we're blessed to be able to just kind of stay in the area as it would be. But you can see that driver still alive, still moving around, agitated. That's the word I would use. Now we're using that digital zoom, so you're going to lose a little bit of that. The picture's going to get a little degraded as we push in right there. But you can kind of see him moving around. And these are those moments for a photographer where you just hope nothing happens right now as we're showing you this driver kind of just moving around. Earlier on, I believe you can see the gun a little bit right there. It's a black weapon, and that silver piece that you see is probably going to be the slide. We saw that earlier on. But you can see he's still clearly alive, is clearly moving around. That, I would venture to say, is some vape or something. But he's in that vehicle. He is not getting out, and that's what's causing all the problems right now. It seemed earlier on that maybe he was on the phone, possibly doing something, talking to somebody. I don't think it. Hey, Booth. Sorry, I had to reset my audio. "45 seconds, quick update. Copy all." So anybody that's listening on YouTube, sorry about that. If the audio kind of went away, hopefully it's back right now. Hopefully you could kind of make out what we were saying. But at any rate, this is all going on. This is going to be westbound 91 at Lakeview Avenue. Anaheim Hills, but the 91, both directions shut down. If it's part of your drive, you definitely want to plan accordingly. We got to go to work. I got to pay the bills, my bills as it would be, so we're going to be live on Fox. If you are local, you know what, you can keep watching us on YouTube, but flip on the tube. Listen to some Fox News. Good day, LA. We've got some excellent newsy goodness going on. We're going to sprinkle it with some of this breaking news, but tune in. And, of course, keep this YouTube live as well. And I'll see if I can jump in on your questions and answers on YouTube. You'd think as low as we are, I'd have some kind of internet. The interwebs, no good. 45 seconds away. Copy all. No toss. Good morning. I want to yell. I'm a yeller. Huh? Copy. Copy. Anaheim, 91 freeway closed in both directions. The pursuit termination about 90 minutes ago of that blue vehicle that you see right there. That driver, armed and dangerous, brandishing a weapon. That weapon, not a knife this time, but an actual large handgun. We saw it in his hands earlier on. Now law enforcement, they've been responding in force. They brought out the armored vehicles, some of them for Anaheim and Corona. You see a lot of California Highway Patrol out here as well. This has stopped the westbound and the eastbound lanes, but we're going to show you some of that westbound traffic. It is huge. Now, some of these folks are making those U-turns on the freeway, getting off on the on-ramp over at Imperial, but you can see what that's doing. Side traffic or side roads out here also starting to fill up as well. The 91 freeway in or out of the Anaheim area, especially if you're coming from Corona, it's going to be very, very difficult indeed. California Highway Patrol and law enforcement working to negotiate with that driver to bring this to a peaceful end, but right now those negotiations ongoing in a time frame unknown to anybody as that driver's holding all the cards. I'm Stu up in SkyFOX. Back to you all in the studio. Our station just played the Right in the Butt Wheel of Fortune. Anyways, if you guys are still with us here on YouTube, thank you for joining us. I'm going to check my phone as we speak. I see there's a picture. I have to watch a commercial just like you do. It's long. You know, the commercials always seem to come through, but the actual stuff is difficult to watch. All right. Oh my gosh, traffic, traffic, traffic. I wish in the time of the ticker, basketball, coffee, donuts, anyone? Yeah, why do we have, wait a minute, where do we have, why do we not have footage of the pursuit? Because it was in Corona and most of our helicopters are all based in the valley. That would be the first reason right there. Probably 10 million now. I don't know what that means. Happy Friday. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. What's going on? This is a pursuit termination. It is all happening out here in Anaheim Hills. It's actually right at the border of Anaheim Hills and Anaheim. You know, it is a tough situation. And, you know, being serious here, yeah, I'm always serious-esque. Let's call it that. Hey, everybody that's saying hi, Stu, I want to give a shout-out to everybody. Love you all. Love the love. You know that. Just to play it serious here just for a little bit, that driver armed and dangerous. Now, he's been waving that weapon around. We did see it earlier on. It looks like a large handgun. Mostly he's been pointing it at himself. And, of course, law enforcement, they don't want to see that either. They just don't want to see anybody get hurt. People have been asking me what kind of vehicle that is. Now I actually see that Nissan symbol, so I'm venturing to say that that's a Nissan Sentra. If somebody was listening from that was asking me earlier on, Nissan Sentra. My money, Nissan Sentra. But that driver, he's the one that's holding all the cards right now. It basically just put the weapon down, walk away. This is all going to come to an end. You can see what appears to be a bullet hole in that rear driver's side window, but that very, very back one, you see it right there. That window's broken. Now that could be it could be a bullet hole. That could be a baton from when officers came up originally trying to break the window, and then maybe the driver pulled it. I don't know. Those are just wild guesses. But I do know for a fact that a lot of law enforcement out here with some heavily armed vehicles, they're trying to bring this thing to an end. There are negotiations going on. We do have that as a fact. What I can tell you about the freeway drive, it's going to It blows. This is the internet. I'll call it as it is. It blows. The 91, the Corona crawl, it's, you know, if you're leaving Corona getting into the Anaheim, Orange County area, stay off the 91. It is going to get you nowhere. And as far as all those little side roads that are going on down there, they are all backed up as well. Let me see, because we have been moving around. Mike, the pilot, is doing what he can to get better shots, but as I'm trying to do something else down here. But you can see that Santa Ana Canyon right there, those westbound lanes, they are FUBAR. And you know what? Look at that. So they have the road shut down. I don't know if that was a smart move, because you can see right there, if you would let people get onto the freeway at Lakeview, they could continue on that westbound 91, but they're not letting you cross the freeway. It is kind of a really tough situation. Those officers down there in those cars, you know what, I'm going to say this out loud, and if you were in law enforcement, it is not a slam, and if you're friends of law enforcement, it is not a slam. Listen to my words. You know, they're not independent thinkers in that way. They've got the order to block that road. They've got to block that road, even if they're like, hey, well, what if we kind of open it up and let people get through? That's really not their call. That's part of being an officer. Yes, officers are allowed to make their own independent decisions, but something like that, I think that would get that guy in a lot of trouble, or gal. And you know what? Props to him for just holding the ground. Officers down there on the ground, the ones that are armed, the ones that are pointing their weapons at that vehicle, it's a tough call. It really, really is, because, you know, how do you bring this to an end peacefully? All they got to do is wait for this guy to put that gun down, and it's gonna come to a peaceful end. But until that happens, that driver is really holding all the cards. Now, I heard somewhere else criminal threats. That was the original want for the pursuit. I also heard somewhere else, unconfirmed but reliable, that perhaps this vehicle was actually going the wrong way on the freeway or on some roads at some time. We see that a lot in a pursuit, maybe not so much on a freeway. This one facing the right way on the freeway. Why he stopped here? I would venture to say the car must have given out before the driver did. I can't just see him saying, you know what, I'm going to just pick this spot right here, I'm going to put it in park, and then allow myself to be boxed in by these armored vehicles. So at any rate, it is a wait-and-see type of game. We're going to wait, we're going to see. And, of course, if you're here with us, I got to tell you, you can put on Channel 11, especially if you're local. We've got a lot of newsy goodness. Good Day LA. The ladies are there. We've got other things going on. We're talking about the weekend. We've got other news stories, and they are definitely worth a listen. If you're going to stay here on the internet, you know what? You can do both. I appreciate that for sure. But right now, this is pretty much what you're going to see for quite a while. It looks like he just dumped something out of the window right there. I really think this person is just biding his time. You know, it is what it is, you know. He's putting a lot of inconveniencing a lot of people. He might have some issues, mental issues, so, you know, you give him some points or give him a little credit for that, but you know, what he's doing to the drive, how he's inconveniencing so many of these people on a Friday. Just imagine if you were one of these folks and you needed to be somewhere. What if you were catching a flight? What if you were going on vacation and now you're sitting here for 2, 3, maybe 4 hours because this person's just deciding to not give up? You know, it is what it is. But at any rate, law enforcement doing what they can to bring this thing to a peaceful end. And I'm going to join you guys back on domestic violence. I could see that. Do I drink milk? Chocolate milk. Yep. I think somebody is stuck down there. Wait a minute. This is a nightmare. I'm stuck. Oh, you stuck in this, Jeffrey, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, if that's true, I'm really sorry. I read your whole text. Well, Chai Hastel, hi, Chai Hastel, she's, you know, I don't know. I am always down for a quick solve for this. Trey, I do. Chocolate. Trey, I do. Chocolate. Trey, I do. Chocolate. Liam, thank you. You know what? I watch Clarkson Farms all the time. Somebody asked me why they can't get him out. Well, he's got a gun. questions are insanity. You guys are goofy. You guys are goofy. I love it. This whole thing is kooky. I'm going to bring back kooky. That's my new word. I brought back nifty. I'm going to bring back kooky. Oh, my goodness. I don't know. I really don't know, guys. This is one of those ones where, you know, it's part of the job. We're going to hang this. We're going to be here for the duration. Hopefully he doesn't shoot himself. But if you guys really, really look right now, you see every now and then by that center pillar on the driver's side up towards the front of the vehicle, you see some silver. And I venture to say that that's the slide on the weapon that we saw earlier on. Now you can't see it. But he definitely has it in his hand. And, you know, this is the thing. Nobody wants to see this guy get hurt. I don't want to see this guy get hurt. The law enforcement probably doesn't want to see this guy get hurt. I can't really say nobody because I could only wonder what some of these folks in the backup are thinking right now. But, you know, it's definitely, that's not how we want to see this come to an end. We want to see this guy just come out, put his hands up, and go into the cuffs. That guy right there, he's clearly not watching us on YouTube, but you can see that officer is just keeping an eye on it. Those vehicles are super ballistic. I have seen situations where they have been shot at close range, and even the glass, I would venture to say it probably didn't even chip the glass at all. I mean, it was pretty freaking weird. But you can see it again and moving around. You know, maybe it is, maybe it's not. We can't get any closer anymore because they have 2 law enforcement aircraft over it. But and let me see what we can do with the digital zoom. But it's gonna degrade it. Maybe it's just a name tag. Maybe it's a name tag on a jacket. Yeah, I think it is. Earlier on when we came around and we did the orbit, that's kind of what I saw. I think we just can't see the black part of it. And you know this guy's just keeping an eye on it. I mean, you know, yes. Yes, yes. Booth, go ahead. Oh, I didn't even know. Nobody tells me anything. Oh, okay. Well, are these the 2 schools? Okay. What's the name of them? Okay. Primary and elementary, Crescent. Copy all. Schools on lockdown, freeways shut down, dogs and cats living together. Sure. Oh, thank you. Guys, gals, I gotta work. Roy, I am not, unless you're talking about altitude, and even that we are not. We've got a lot of low clouds today, and we're relatively low. Other people are saying it's a cell phone. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. $15 away. 15 away. Midnight taco run, you know I do. But I got to work. Somebody's got to pay the bills. and it's usually me. Anaheim Hills, this is 91 Freeway. This continues a very serious situation. That's right. Sorry about that. This is going to be the 91 Freeway, Anaheim Hills. Very serious situation, and it's still ongoing. This has been in effect for more than 90 minutes. That vehicle you see right there, the driver armed and also brandishing that weapon, and that's the reason why law enforcement has shut down the 91 Freeway in both directions out here in the Anaheim Hills area. That backup on the westbound area is huge. We're just finding out that 2 schools are on lockdown. That's going to be Crescent Elementary and Crescent Primary. That's what I'm showing you right there, and they are very close to that 91 Freeway. If things go south, that it could easily affect these students. That's the reason why they put them on lockdown. Hopefully it will not happen, but right now law enforcement still working to get that driver of the vehicle just to come out peacefully, put the gun down, come out hands up. But while this is going on, the westbound side, that's what we're going to show you right here, all these drivers, they are really stuck in it because they cannot get off the freeway. Some of them towards the end of it over here towards the Corona area been making U-turns and using Imperial as their off-ramp. They've been kind of slow. They've actually making good progress. They're clearing that freeway. But once you get off that freeway, I would tell you pretty much stay off of Santa Ana Canyon because that one is very slow and go. If you are getting on the 91 freeway today and you are heading eastbound, you're going to be slow and actually stopped at the 55. If you're heading westbound, I'm sorry, the other way around. If you're heading westbound, they're going to stop you at the 55. Eastbound, if you can get on anywhere east of Lakeview, that 91 is going to be a great drive. But if you're in the Corona area and you're trying to get to OC, stay off that 91 freeway. As far as we know right now, no injuries to any civilians, no injuries to any officers, but this is definitely an ongoing situation out here on the freeway. I'm Stu up at SkyFOX. Back to you on the studio. Ha! You know what? I turned it off because I didn't know if we were still live and I didn't want to go on air going, I don't have any IFB, you know, so sorry about that. All right, kids, I'm back with you guys for a little bit here, and of course, and what I'm talking about is all my friends out there on the YouTubes. Yes, I had to turn the mic down there because we lost IFB, and if you want to know what IFB is, you know what, I just call it infield broadcast, but I think it means something else. It's like some sort of return, something or another, but it's how I hear the show and how people at the station get a hold of me. I'm not up here in the helicopter as my own entity. I actually have a pilot mic, and if I actually stop talking abruptly, it's usually because there's voices in my headsets, and no, they are not in my head. They are in my headsets because I did what the doctors told me. Anyways, let's take a look at what's going on. Law enforcement, they've got that vehicle surrounded. They got it blocked in. That person inside that vehicle, armed and dangerous. What he's got is not a knife, but a very large gun. You know, if you're just joining us, we can kind of do the little bit of a tour. We're using that digital zoom, but you can kind of see right there. There's a hole in that rear window. Now, how that got there, you know what? I'm going to let you guys try to figure that out because, you know what? We could take wild guesses, but I'm not really sure. Is it a bullet hole? Could it have been something else? I don't know. This was a pursuit. It was Corona PD was in pursuit of that vehicle. Made its way onto the freeway, clearly stopping here in the middle of the lanes on the 91 right before Lakeview. Why? Again, I would venture to say, my guess is that car gave up. I would venture to say that driver didn't just go, you know what, this is a good place to stop. I'm just going to park it here. They must have known about that weapon because they actually called for help. You know, not like an officer needs help call, like, you know, that type of thing. But they clearly had a situation ongoing out here. Anaheim PD, they brought their armored vehicle. Corona PD brought 2 of their armored vehicle. So, you know, you can see the number of heavily armored officers in the area, a couple of dogs. You know what? I love a dog takedown. Trust me, that is one of my favorite things to watch, is a dog, you know, subduing a suspect. But you know what? They're not going to send that dog in there with an armed suspect because nobody wants to see an officer get shot. Yes, those dogs are considered officers as well. What else do we got going on? Highway Patrol, well, clearly they got involved because they shut down the 91 freeway, both directions. All these folks, they moved them and they put them behind that crime tape right there. They are stuck here. A lot of these folks are. And we've been kind of watching, and they are making good progress. Sooner or later, they may be able to turn around. But this is coming up almost on the 2-hour mark. Could you imagine being sitting somewhere on the freeway for 2 hours because you could not move? That is rough. Watching some of these people making those maneuvers, turning around. Some of these people, you know, it always amazes me. So they're using the off-ramp as the on-ramp, or the on-ramp as the off-ramp over here. But see, these guys, I think these are a little smarter. They're making their way over here and then joining the off-ramp, you know, just kind of making that U-turn and joining that that line of cars getting off the freeway. You know what? I stumbled onto this. I didn't see this earlier on. So I guess westbound, they're taking everybody off at Imperial. Look at that backup. Oh my gosh. Anyways, this is a thing, and it's going to be here for some time. What is going on here? Oh, using that little opening. Yeah, you know what? I probably would be doing this. This is all me right there. Make that U-turn, get back on the freeway, find another way around it. Freeways are always better than the side streets, especially when a freeway shut down like this. But you can see the side streets starting to fill up as well. All the traffic from the 91 getting off, everybody trying to get around it. I'm sure they're all using the same app. I use Google. And it's probably going to put you, all these people, on that same route to get around it. And it's going to create more backup. It's going to be a tough drive for a lot of these guys. Let's get back to the actual scene itself. Take a look what's going on. Hopefully we didn't miss anything. Nope, we haven't missed anything, oddly enough. And the standoff continues. That driver, you know what? Come on, man. If you're watching, if somebody's watching that knows him, text him, tell him, just come out with your hands up. You're ruining everybody's weekend, and you don't want to ruin your weekend worse than it is already. Just put down the gun, come out, go into custody. Let's clear the freeway. I got to catch up. You guys are typing too fast. You should all take turns typing. Ukaipa High School. Carl, you got it. What's the best Kaipa? Ukaipa. I'm not a Kaipa. You're a Kaipa. Inside looking out, you know what? I'm not putting you on the spot, but how would you handle it? How would you handle it? Everybody's got a thing. Somebody says, free bro, he just wants to go home. You know what? I would venture to say, he could open the door and walk away because his car isn't going anywhere. Maybe if he calls AAA and AAA shows up, they'll give him a tow. Or maybe he gets an Uber. How about that? All right, nobody's giving me any good ideas. So you know what I'm going to tell you guys right now is trained skunks. What do you guys think? Trained skunks. Yep. Have them like walk over to the car, start spraying the car, and just walk away. I don't think one would do it unless the window is open. But, you know, I'm telling you, that would get him out of there. That would get him out of there. Even if he's got a gun, I mean, you know, I don't want to see any animal get hurt. But I think they're hard to hit. And if they scamper, you know, or maybe they run under the car so you can't get them. You know, I think trained skunks is the way to go. I think that's an untapped resource. Thank you. Thank you. Real stink bomb, right? Copy out. Okay, we'll do a long one. Okay, Crescent. JF, I got to make this quick. I got to make this quick because I got to go work. But you know what? I always wanted to own a towing company. I was a tow truck driver at one time. And a shout out to Brothers Towing of Norco. You guys should get an IG page. I'd follow it. Anybody that's out there and wants to follow me on the internet, you can find me on Instagram. That's my one I always go to. It's STUMUNDEL. No two L's. I'm the poor Mundell. And I'm definitely not a Mandel. We don't have that kind of money. Maurice. Good morning, Sandra and Oroxia. This is all happening on the 91 freeway, like you said. Anaheim Hills, Anaheim area. It's going to be the westbound 91 right before Lakewood, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference because both sides of the freeway are completely shut down. Started out as a pursuit in the Corona area. That blue vehicle that you see right there, the driver armed and dangerous and brandishing that weapon. Once that vehicle came to a stop here on the 91 freeway, they brought in the armored vehicles. They boxed it in to make sure it couldn't go anyplace else. Anaheim PD is out here, and Corona PD is out here along with the California Highway Patrol. Let's take a look at some of those westbound lanes. This is a lot of the backup. Some of these folks have been here for more than 90 minutes, probably coming close to 2 hours. A lot of these folks deciding to take matters into their own hands. They're making that U-turn and getting off at Imperial. But once you get off that freeway, the drive is not going to get much better. A lot of those side streets are packed as well. A little bit of SkyFOX in the shot, not a big deal, but you can see some of that that backup right there. The westbound, they're taking everybody off at Imperial Highway. If the 91 westbound is your drive today out of the Corona area, stay out. How is this affecting other folks? Well, you can see two schools right there. That's going to be Crescent Elementary and Crescent Primary. Both these schools are on lockdown due to the activity on the freeway. It is very close to that school right now. These students probably not in immediate danger, but nobody wants to take any chances when children are involved. Law enforcement put those two schools on lockdown. What are they doing to resolve this? Well, they are trying to do whatever they can. For negotiations with that driver, that's their main bet, but it's really up to that driver right now. How is it going to come to an end? If he puts down that weapon, walks outside, then they can just put him into cuffs and open up the freeways. That would be the best bet. Before we go, eastbound lanes, let's talk about those as well. They're shutting you down at the 55, so the eastbound really backing up as well. Stay off the 91 if it is part of your drive today, or just double check and make sure that where you need to be, the drive is going to be all right. I'm Stu up at SkyFOX. Back to you all in the studio. No, man, it's all good. Pardon me? What did you need? Oh, okay. Copy all. Man, it's okay. We're in a helicopter. What do you think? We're just a floating camera? Floating AI camera. You know what? I really don't mind. It's like I remember back in the day, if you got a skid in the shot or something, it was like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Dude, we're in a helicopter. Alan Parker, if you're really stuck in traffic, man, my heart goes out to you. We got about an hour worth of fuel. I'll let the desk know. You know, somebody said he fell asleep. I have seen that in the past. I have really seen that in the past where the suspect is like literally in that car. Oh, wait, what's he doing? What's he doing? Yeah, this is one of those ones where, you know, you don't want to zoom in and watch this guy hurt himself. Resolution. That was the word I was looking for. Resolution. Yeah, when you hit that digital doubler, the resolution goes to poo. I still think he's on the phone. I wonder if he's on the phone with the negotiators. Don't they have like that kind of tech where they can just, you know, bypass anything and call the cell phone direct? Carrier? What? Right. Oh, law enforcement's got a lot of cool tricks in their bag. Yeah. Right. Yeah, we're keeping an eye on it. We're doing the best we can. Law enforcement, they are ready to pounce. You know, I wonder why they don't have bigger vests for the dogs. Whoops, sorry guys. Those look like great dogs. So this is one of those ones where, you know, we kind of watch it, and we kind of watch it, and we kind of watch it so many times because we're in a helicopter. Fuel, we are fuel limited. Mike was just talking to me about hours and how long we have until we have to go somewhere or do, you know, for fuel. It is one of those ones where, you know, it is inevitable and unedible that when it goes down, we'll probably be somewhere for fuel. It is one of those ones where you just sit and wait, sit and wait, and sit and wait, and sit and wait. At least, you know, we're kind of sitting down. We have machinery. I'm not holding a camera. I've got a laptop in my hand. If yes, I do control it. Yes, I have to have my hands on it. Yes, I make jokes sometimes that my fingers are bleeding. That's actually a Beatles line. But at any rate, the Beatles is a band. The Beatles is a band. And but these guys down there, you know, since we've been here, these two dudes have been holding their guns the entire time. Talking about, you know, getting a muscle cramp. Or, you know, you never see them tap out. You never be like, hey, man, I got you. So you're telling me that's a cell phone that's in his hand in this shot? Really? That is a gun pointed at him. And he's left-handed. Oh, so then what are we doing? All right. All right. So according to law enforcement, we just got this information. My pilot, Mike, that likes to be called Nacho because he looks like Nacho, and if you ever watched the Better Call Saul, you'd know why. He has just confirmed over our aircraft radios that is not a gun. That is a cell phone in his hand. So if he doesn't have his gun in his hand, he's not brandishing a weapon, why don't they just bring this thing to an end? What are they doing? Yes, I don't want to be the guy to walk up to the car. There's no doubt about it. But, you know, come on. We're here for another hour. When did you just text me? Oh, you just texted me that. We're here for another hour. We're here for another hour. Another hour. Another hour on station. Another hour on station. All right. When we come to you for the regular slot, we'll give you an update on the situation, and you can talk about topics. Hey, we're going to talk about the kittens. The next topic we get into will be about the video, the dad being called out by some of his. Wow. So if you guys hang out with us on YouTube, you might actually, not that you guys would want to, but whoops, wrong button already. That's what you're going to see. But at any rate, we are going to be doing the 11 o'clock show, and we do a little talky talk from the helicopter, and we're going to do a little of that. So just letting you guys know, we're going to at 11:30 we're going to depart from the norm. That's what, the norm being what we're looking at right now. Of course, if anything changes while we're talking, then yes, of course, we're going to go right back to the breaking news, but we have other things slotted as well. So yeah, I guess that's a cell phone. So then why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I mean, unless this negotiation is I want to call an Uber and get my Uber and drive away, you know? And even if that was the case, I'd be like, yeah, sure, we'll make that happen. We'll go get an Uber for you. My gosh, guys, you're typing way too fast. How am I supposed to catch up with this? Yes, Tyler, there actually are negotiators here on scene. They're on scene, and they're actually talking to them on the cell phone as well. Hey, can you pan over to the huge house on top of the hill? I'm in Anaheim Hills, bro. Every house on the hill is huge. I don't get overtime pay. It's a sticky issue. Driver streaming on social media. If he is, I'd like the link. Call Rambo. You know. I don't even think you can get pulled over for that anymore. John said you're not supposed to use your cell phone. Moral of the story, don't use your cell phone. The Mavericks? The Mavericks, you're asking me? I don't know. What a cool job. Yeah, you know what? Some days it is, some days it's not. You always got to remember this is a job. This is a paid gig. I'm glad I had my tamale. Did you have breakfast, Mike? Good. Unpaid shout out is Magusto. Magusto up in San Fernando. I think they're actually off of Van Nuys Boulevard. Van Nuys near the 5. Best tamales I have ever had. I'm not saying they're the best tamales in the world. I'm not saying they're better than your mom's. I'm not saying they're better than the place that you love. They're the best ones that I've ever had. And you can get them at farmers markets as well. There you go. Guy's still in the car, very agitated. Apparently he's on a cell phone. Talking with negotiators. making everybody's holiday weekend a problem, and the people that have to work, too. Oh, look at that. Man, they're making good time. Everybody's making those U-turns and getting out of here. Ooh, check him out. Man, that guy is stylish. I wonder where his car is, though. You think it's a semi? I wonder if he's got a six-shooter on his hip. See, I don't see a car that matches his outfit. Ah. What do you mean? Like my audio? Or are you asking me about fuel situation? Are you talking about my audio, or are you talking about... I don't understand. Oh, that really was an accident. That I'm not playing around. That was an accident. Right, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Our assignment desk just sent a photo from actually, just so you guys know what was going on there, that conversation was my bosses just got a hold of me saying that when I accidentally put myself on air, apparently some other station was taking our feed and I got on their air, but that really was an accident. And then also they sent me a picture that was sent to them from somebody on the ground, and that is definitely not a cell phone that's in his hand. And so that's the reason why officers are taking this type of stance out there. I can't share it with you guys, not because of any kind of privacy rights, as I just don't know how I could possibly share that with you. But at any rate, well, be careful with the switching of the cameras, but that really truly was an accident. Anyhow, so this is all happening out here in the Anaheim Hills, Anaheim area, and it is pretty static, as in it is not moving any kind of fast. And time is on the law enforcement side, and it also is definitely not on the side of anybody that's on the 91 today. I'm looking at my watch. We're going to be switching it up. We're going to do a top of the hour for Fox. If you guys are local, turn on channel 11. The show is changing speeds, as it would be. Going more into, it's called Good Day LA Plus, a little bit, it's kind of like a news magazine, but not quite Inside Edition or anything, but something like that. So if you guys are local, now would be the good time to tune in. But definitely don't shut off the YouTubes. If you're not local, you can stay with us. And we're going to do an update here, live on air, and then after that, we have a fun segment that's going to be happening right around 11:30. And yes, you will see my face on television when that happens, on purpose, but not on purpose now. Again, if you guys are on the Instagrams, I love the love. If you want to hit me up, you can follow me. It's Stu, STU _Mundell, MUNDEL. The little self-promotion right there. I enjoy conversation, and I am a photographer. That's basically what most of my posts are. And hit me up. Check me out. I'll try to respond the best I can. Got to get to work. Yeah. They should be talking about this guy. Ah. I don't know. Maybe they're not taking us at the top of the hour. If they do, they do. I'm ready. Bum, bum, ba, bum. Oh, the impact upon people is going to be huge out here, and like you said, it is a very serious and tense situation. What's going on? If you're just seeing this for the first time, this is happening on the 91 freeway, Anaheim Hills area, right before the Lakeview off-ramp. That blue car that's surrounded by those two armored vehicles, that was in pursuit. Corona PD was chasing that vehicle. You know, the want right now is kind of still sketchy, so we're going to stay away from that, but we do know that that driver armed and dangerous and was brandishing a weapon. Law enforcement taking it very seriously, as you can see, and as they should, and they basically surrounded that vehicle and they shut down the 91 freeway in both directions. Yes, the 91 freeway is shut down in both directions. Now this is going to be, though, you can see the law enforcement response. This is right behind that vehicle, and this has been going on for more than 2 hours. Yes, and you can see right now the last of those cars are making those U-turns and going against the flow of traffic, but there is no traffic because everybody's been turning around and getting off. They get off at Imperial Highway. We're going to pan around and show you that right now, but they're also taking all of the westbound traffic off at Imperial Highway as well. So the side streets, they're building up very, very quickly, making that drive almost impossible. It's going to be gridlock on all those side streets as well. Also, what's being impacted, there's two schools out here in the Anaheim Hills area. They're right there. They're right next to the 91 freeway. That's going to be Crescent Elementary and also Crescent Primary. Now, there is no direct danger to the schools, but they are on lockdown just in case. And, of course, that's the best thing to do. Now, the eastbound lanes, they are shut down as well. They're taking everybody off at the 55, and that's creating a huge problem. So if you're in the Corona area and the 91 is your take this morning to get into, like, say, OC or beyond, definitely take a look, see what's going to be better for you. If you're in the Anaheim Hills area, try to get on at Lakeview or west of Lakeview, and that 91 is going to be a good drive, and vice versa. If you're going to be on those eastbound lanes and you are in Corona, you shouldn't be seeing any problems. But, again, so many folks on this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, going to be affected by what's going on. Of course, no injuries to officers, no injuries to any civilians at this time, but you can see negotiations still ongoing. That driver, very agitated, still moving around inside that vehicle. Law enforcement, time is on their hands, as they always say, and they do have that advantage, but they are negotiating, and they're trying to bring this to end peacefully. Nobody wants to see anybody injured in this situation. I'm still up in SkyFOX. Back to you on the studio. You know what? I got to give myself a gold star. I think I got all the streets right. I'm serious. Nathan? Maybe, if even that. Guys, gals, thanks you guys for joining me here on the YouTubes. If you're just joining in, it has been a tense situation out here in the Anaheim Hills area. Anaheim, right at the border. But if you guys know the area, then you know that this freeway is always crazy busy. And today they got this going on. They're shutting it down in both directions. Ouch, man. That's all I got to say. It is going to be a lot of trouble for a lot of folks. I imagine that somebody's going to know somebody. You're going to get that 6 degrees of separation. If you live in this area, you're going to know somebody that was stuck in it or dealing with it this morning. Law enforcement, they are tasked with getting that guy out of the car without him getting injured. It is going to be extremely difficult. Now you can see the number of law enforcement right there. They have finally cleared the area. Oh, we're going to get something else to watch. Looks like they got a drone getting ready to get fired up right there. We're going to keep an eye on that for sure. And, it's going to be something to see. And what is it going to do? I think what they're going to do is get a better look at the weapon and kind of get this feeling of, is it a real gun? Could it be a pellet gun? But even if they get like a 90%, like say, we think it is, they're not going to treat it like it's not, because nobody, again, wants to see anybody get hurt. And I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't want to be the guy officer that's going to walk up to him saying, "Oh, we think it's a pellet gun." Yeah. So at any rate, Howart, Peter, you're gonna have to give that to me phonetically with phonics. You're gonna have to give that to me with phonics. But yeah, we're just keeping an eye on it. We want to make this work. We want to bring this to an end safely. Of course, everybody here wants to see this end. I would venture to say that they're probably down there talking about possibly using CS gas. A lot of times what they'll do is somebody up there will switch out his weapon, or one of these guys will break out some sort of pellet gun. They'll shoot out the rear window. But if that guy is armed, that's kind of the problem. If they shoot out that rear window, shocks the guy like he's like, and he accidentally pulls the trigger, somebody gets hurt, it's going to be a problem. And so they're kind of limited. Their hands are tied. It's like, how do you solve a situation like this? These are the ones where you just watch and you got to wait it out. You got to wait it out, or try to talk that guy into just giving up. I do know a negotiator personally, and I couldn't imagine. I just couldn't imagine that job, trying to talk to those people. You see, other guys, the movie, yes, it was a comedy, but how do you handle that? How do you handle that? Anyways, I feel for the guy behind the wheel a little bit. I feel more actually for all the innocent folk that are, stuck today. If I was going on vacation, I'd probably be pretty grumpy about this. And if you were probably going on vacation, you could say out loud, it's like, oh no, I'd be more concerned about that. No, you can say it, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. You know what? I need one of those signs on a table. Convince me, prove me wrong. But at any rate, Izza, how you doing? But at any rate, we're just keeping an eye on what's going on out here. Rotate to the original. Dude, come on, man. Or dudette, whatever you may be. Come on, we just talked about that. How? What are you just going to run up and open the door and grab them and put them in cuffs? I don't think it's gonna happen like that. Sergeant Branford, if you're really saying hello, of course, hello to you as well. Maybe you can chime in and give some of these folks some schooling on how to handle a situation like that, because I can't imagine. I really can't. I mean, it's like, how do you negotiate? Goth General, I don't know how I'm going to put. You know what? I have some restrictions on what I can say, and you know what? I'm sure it's a nickname, and I adore it, but I don't think I can say that on the air. I'm going to need it phonetically. Send it to me in an email with the phonetics. I'm just checking my IG right now, and I'm seeing a commercial for grits and waffles. If you're in LA, go there. Definitely go there. Somebody's texting me something. Oh, sorry guys. I'm not being a good host. Sorry. Give me a second here. So where are we going to go for fuel? Because I have a feeling we're going to be hanging out in the OC all day. We're getting close. Can we do the 30? Oh, really? Oh, man, that blows. Right. You want to just pick up an orbit if we can? Save maybe a little fuel? I mean, we can be flying in. We don't have to be over this to do for the 11 or the 11:30. All right. I'm talking with my pilot. No, I'm not talking to the invisible voices in my head. We're talking about fuel and fuel consumption. We're probably going to be landing over John Wayne Airport, Pilgrim, in just a little bit because we're going to be running low on fuel in about 15 minutes or so. I have a little thing we do on television, and also I'm letting everybody else know that we're going to be tight on fuel. I thought we were going to be able to stay up for the 11:30, but probably not. Really? Hey, Christian, are you out there? Christian. SkyFOX Simon Desk, could you get a hold of Christian for me? Now? We're not going to get fuel back in the air in 15 minutes. Right. No, I think we should. If that's the case, clearly the stew piece is not that important. You know what I mean? Well, we can. I'm not like we have to stay up for that, but we're gonna have to stay here for as long as we can. I need to get a hold of Christian and let him know though. That's my concern right now, because if they're counting on us, I got to let them know that we're not going to be there. Man, that hour went by quick. Yeah, we got about seriously 15 minutes before the piece. Oh, the workings. A lot of this stuff is behind the scenes. Sorry, guys, if we're not being good hosts up here, but we have other stuff that we gotta manage, and its fuel is definitely one of them, especially when we're. Oh yeah, what happened to the drone? Somebody's like, "Hey Stu, what happened to the drone?" I don't know what happened to the drone. I'm seeing a lot of cars backing out of here. A lot of Corona PD. Maybe they're just moving the vehicles. Not really sure. SkyFOX TOC lost that IFB feeling. And it's back. Simon Desk. They're busy. They're busy on the phone doing assignments and desking. keeping an eye on the situation out here, and it just it's getting more tense. I think when you start seeing officers moving their vehicles and not driving away, oh, they are driving away, and more officers showing up. You got an ambulance here as well. That might mean that they're going to start doing something to bring this to an end. Possibly try to break out that rear window, maybe some kind of CS gas or some kind of powder or something like that. An adjutant is what they like to call it, to get that driver uncomfortable and perhaps get out of the vehicle, hopefully without a weapon, and then they can start doing what they need to do to get that person into custody. I'm not giving anything away right there, because a lot of times people say, "You're giving away officers' location." No, I'm not. I was once told by officers that if you can see them, well, actually the words were, if you could see me, oh, the door's opening up on the police vehicle. I think we're going to be okay with the door. Oh, they're hitting them with CS gas. Well, two things. I think they're starting to be a little bit more proactive than reactive out here. And then also we wanted to talk about fuel, because I don't think we're going to be able to make it to 11:30. But even if we left right now, it's going to be, 10 minutes to get to the airport, right? So I don't know. Could you move us up by a couple of minutes if you want, or... It's okay. I'm just, yeah. I mean, if we don't do anything today, okay. I hear what you're saying. I hear you. Okay. I always want to err on the side of caution, but I always want to play ball. So, hang on, Mike. Could we be on the ground and still have a signal? Yeah. Because what I'm saying is our thing is at 27, right? And if we left right now, we'd still be in the air at 27. You see what I'm saying? Right. Hey, it's 27, or is it solid 30? Because minutes matter. Christian is doing his job. If you take us right at 27, we'd probably be able to do something. Oh no! We're gonna start heading to John Wayne now, because that's where our fuel is. We can't be here at 27. That's why I'm saying it's about a 10-minute flight, and if we leave right now, yeah. So we're gonna start heading over there, and that's what I'm saying. We'll be over John Wayne. Yes, that's the biggest concern. All right. Hey, everybody that's in YouTube land, I love you guys. You know I do. I wish I could have been a better host for a lot of this stuff. You've probably been listening in. We've got fuel. We got to go to John Wayne to get some fuel. And while we're doing that, we'll hold the shot as long as we can. But I'm saying goodbye. You can follow me. This little self-promotion, it's Stu, S-T-U, Mundell, M-U-N-D-E-L. I'm on IG. I love the love. You guys can follow along. I'm also on Instagram, and that is Instagram, Stu. I am tired. I'm also on X, and I'm also on Facebook, but I'm mostly on Instagram. And I know it's not a political statement. It's just because I'm a photographer, and I post pictures. Anyways, guys and gals, we're gonna probably start heading away. If you guys are local, keep watching Fox. Fox Good Day LA Plus is on right now. The ladies got some awesome stuff. They got some great guests in there as well. And again, I'm going to start fading away as we ride off into the May gray. And again, thank you guys. I wish I could answer every one of your questions and every one of your texts. I really do, and I mean that. I love that about social media. And I'm going to work with Mike here. So, Mike, it's seriously a 10-minute flight, right? If it makes you feel safer, but we can stay up, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want to be like go and just land and be like, yeah, we got here in 5 minutes. You know what I mean? All right. Let's start doing what we got to do. Please tell CBS that we're leaving. Please tell CBS that we're leaving. We need fuel. Please tell CBS that we are leaving. CBS, if you're out there, we are leaving.